It's day 13 of Parents Awakening series. And how are you doing today? When you were growing up, can you remember your parents holding you, hugging you? Were you free to just go and hug your parents? Were you free to touch your parents' hair? Were you free to just touch your parents' hand and hold hands with your parents? What can you remember? If you were not free to just run and meet your parents and just touch their hair or just hold their hands, maybe in public, you might find yourself struggling with holding and touching your children, especially as they grow older. My name is Blessing Oladimeji, and today we'll be talking about the power of touch. Touching our children is very, very important. Touching is an emotion that makes someone feel safe around you. And of course, we know there are horrible meanings of touching, right? So that's not the touching we're talking about. We're talking about the touch that is healthy, whereby children can feel free to have access to parents. Our children should not run away from us or feel scared to just hold our hands. If our children are feeling afraid to move near us, especially as they grow older, it's not a good sign. We can learn it. I know that some people cannot even say, my parents touched me. In fact, it didn't even happen. But the beauty of parenting is that anything can be learned and anything can start today. So even if you have not been doing it all this while, it's not a problem. You can start today. They say it's when you wake up, that's your own morning, right? So it's something that you can start today. What does touching do to our children? It improves our children's self-esteem. It improves their self-worth. When we can hold them, we can touch them, and we allow them to freely come around us. It's very, very beautiful. It improves our children's confidence. You know, you actually need to hug your children at least 12 times a day. Do you know 12 times a day? If you hug your child 12 times a day, it actually builds growth in that child. So I know we might not be able to do the 12 times, but try to see that every day you hold your child's hands, you hug them, you just stay around them and allow them to feel free to put their head on your shoulder. As they keep growing older, you might feel, oh, what's all this? But trust me, once we do that easily, there's nobody out there. There's no man that wants to do it to our daughter that will make your daughter feel like, oh, it's a big deal. But if you've been doing it, mother to daughter, father to daughter, just holding your child's hand, just hugging your child, it will feel like it's not a big deal to them. So it's something that I would love to encourage parents to start doing. Try to hold your children, try to hug them. It makes our children vulnerable with us. That's when they tell us the person they have a crush on. That's when they tell us the person that they're attracted to. That's when they feel free to tell us what happened in their day. So it's very, very beautiful to allow our children run towards us, hold us, hug us, touch us. So don't be that parent that would, when your children are even trying to come, you're like, hey, what are you coming to do? Don't do that. Personally, I didn't grow up that way. And I intentionally told myself when I knew better that I would do better. So I hold my princes. I allow them to hug me. I allow them to touch my hair. They play with my hair a lot. I allow them to touch my face because I just see that we adults just grow and we just build a wall around us and we just become all hard. And we can't even remember being children before. That's one part that I know that adults adulting makes you forget being a child. And you have even been a child before. I understand the bills. I get it. but notwithstanding, it's going to do a whole lot of good to our children. So if you have not been holding your children, you have not been hugging them, it might feel awkward initially because you're not used to it, and your child is like, hey, hey, what's wrong with this woman? What's wrong with this man? Especially your teenagers. Try it with them. After feeling awkward, they'll settle down and know that, okay, mom is just trying to express herself to me. So feel free to hug your children and let your children feel free to come around you. You might want to ask your children, why don't you come around and just hug me and just hold me? And you might just be surprised at the responses that they will give. I trust you've learned something again today, and I remain Blessing Oladimeji. Remember to watch the video, to share the video, to apply what you are learning. Thank you for watching. Bye.